Earth 2, number 12, written by James Robinson, art by Nicholas Scott. So, last issue, we had Khalid getting the Helmet of Fate and becoming Dr. Fate and yada yada yada. This issue picks up in media res, where there is a fight going on, and we're being told it through a news report. And they just basically recap, like, yeah, you guys remember there was a whole bunch of old Wonders, and then Darkseid showed up, and they all fought, and now we got new Wonders, a Flash, and apparently this new guy, Dr. Fate, who's battling someone named Wotan. Anyway, that's going on. Also, the World Army is here, and Green Lantern and Flash are fighting against them from interfering with the battle between Dr. Fate and Wotan. So that's all happening. And I wonder how all of this could have began, says the news reporter. Then we flash back an hour and we just, how did we get here? So Khalid comes out as Dr. Fate and Flash is like, oh, hey, cool, thanks for coming here and doing all that, Khalid. And he's like, actually, when I'm in my costume, can you call me Dr. Fate? Because, like, I'm really messed up in the brain right now and I just kind of really need that separation. Like, I'm not Khalid, I'm Dr. Fate. And Flash is like, okay, sure, yeah. Sorry about the whole sanity thing. And he's like, actually, you know what? It's cool. Ever since I just accepted it, I feel like kind of tranquil. And he's like, okay, anyway, my suit got kind of torn up. Can you magic me a new one? And he's like, isn't your suit connected to, like, your powers? And Flash just, like, vibrates a little bit. He's like, oh, yeah, no, totally new suit. Anyway, let's go fight Wotan. And so then we go back outside, and Wotan's like, oh, my God, I can feel him. He's got the power. Oh, geez, I can't believe this is happening. I'm going to kill him. And then Flash's mom chimes in like, yeah, well, you're kind of you were beaten before. What makes this time any different? And Wotan explains how not only is Naboo no longer Naboo, it's just his powers. Khalid is inexperienced. He's easily beatable, and Wotan is super experienced. So he's been doing this for centuries. And then all of a sudden, Dr. Fate comes out, and he's like, I'm going to beat you up because this is my powers, not yours. And then Naboo starts talking to Khalid's head like, hey, actually, Wotan's really powerful, so maybe you should just listen to me and take my advice here because, like, you're going to need it. And he's like, shut up, Naboo, I got this. I know what I'm doing. Whoops. So at that point, they just start fighting, like, a lot. Flash runs over and saves his mom, or at least gets her away from the center of the fight. Wotan's throwing some magic spells that break through some of Khalid's spells that he's casting. And Naboo's like, I told you, if you just listen, look, all of your powers are derived from Egyptian gods. And you know everything about Egyptian gods, so just, like, call them out in the way that you think that they would work. And so at that point, Flash is about to run in, and Khalid's like, no, hold on. Naboo's saying some stuff, let me just try it. So he casts a spell for transportation, travelers, that makes a portal that sends them both back to Boston. Because, sure, why not? Boston. And Jay grabs his mom and says, hey, we're hitching a ride there because I don't know how to get us out of the Magic Lands otherwise. So at that point, we cut over to China 1 hour ago, where Hawkgirl and Green Lantern have made their way to a shipping yard because Hawkgirl's managed to pick up some information on Alan Scott's old lover. I can't remember his name at the moment, but regardless, they open up the shipping container, and inside of it is a bunch of dead parademons, and they've been dead for like a while. And they're like, how does this have anything to do with Sam? I don't understand. And so they're like, all right, well, we got to go back to the mob boss. He's our last lead, and we'll figure out what's going on with your late lover. And then all of a sudden, Alan's like, okay, so I just have, like, this feeling in my body, like the green flame is telling me I need to get to Boston, like, right now. And Hawkgirl's like, no, you can't just, we're in the middle of a mystery. He's like, yeah, no, but, like, I actually can't resist. I want to, trust me, but I, like, can't. So you deal with the China stuff. I'm going to go be involved in the main story. Bye. And so he flies off. So then we pick up, in Boston, and they've all arrived. The magic fight is breaking out in the skies, and he's pulling up, shield spells and stuff like that. He's invoking Egyptian gods. Alan Scott flies in. He's like, hey, Flash, give me the rundown. What's going on? They're like, that's up there. The golden one's the good magic dude, and the other one's the bad magic dude, and we just need to run interference and not get involved. He's like, interference from what? There's nobody else here. And then all of a sudden the World Army shows up. He's like, okay, well, I guess interference from them. So fight rolls off as we saw before. He calls out some more spells of like the god of metalworking and the god of transformation. And at some point, Wotan's like, but I too have magic, and yeah, I can easily defeat you. And then all of a sudden, he pulls out the goddess of destruction, which manages to undo all of Wotan's spells, and then he calls up Horus, the god of war, which just, like, kills him. And that's it. That's all he needed, which makes the rest of it seem stupid. If you have the goddess of destruction, seem pretty... do that first. But regardless, Wotan's gone. And Flash is like, dude, did you just kill him? And he's like, nah, I just like sent him to the ethereal plane or another dimension or whatever. But yeah, he's kind of dead. So at that point, they see that the World Army's closing in. Jay gets his mom and all of them teleport out of there using Dr. Fate's stuff. And they arrive 4 hours later at Alan Scott's head of his company. And they're like, okay, here's the deal. Jay, your secret identity is no longer secret. Everyone knows that you're Jay Garrick. Dr. Fate, you don't really have a thing going on either. So we're going to make this, the headquarters of the Global Broadcasting Company, our base of operations. I got some like bedrooms downstairs you can stay in. And we'll just basically run a whole bunch of propaganda on the channel to make people trust us, to make the World Army back down. That's our new goal here. PR. And Alan's in like, all right, so we'll do that tomorrow, but like I got to go to China right now because I had a whole other plot going on. And then all of a sudden Dr. Fate's like, actually, in a mysticism, turn on the TV. And they turn on the TV and see that Steppenwolf, who of course was inside the country of Durain, has been outed as the ruler of Durain. And so the World Army is all about to invade and attack. And Dr. Fate's like, I think you might want to postpone your trip. Womp womp. That's the arc. Again, it's just this issue that I've had this entire arc where Wotan feels like nothing. He feels like no threat at all, and they keep building him up. They're like, oh, Wotan, this master sorcerer. Dude, he got beaten by a fence. There was a part in this where Dr. Fate just wrapped him in a fence for a while, and it, like, worked. So, I don't know. Villain for this arc has been bland as hell. If you just wanted to focus on Dr. Fate getting his powers and becoming Dr. Fate, I would have much rather the quote-unquote villain of the story be the fact that his sanity would be lost, that he did not trust himself to take this power. And they kind of focused on that, but in the end it was, who cares, you know? It was a non-factor. He's totally fine now. So, I don't know, a little bit disappointing in that aspect, but it's been a problem this whole arc, so I can't really blame this specific issue for the entire arc's problem. That being said, I can't give it any higher than a 7, so I think I'm going to go with a 6.5 on this one. Not bad, but I mean, the fact we also spent the first like 4 pages just going over, hey everybody, remember what the rest of the series was about? Yes, I know. I was there. I read it. So, yeah. I'm giving this one a 6.5, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do against Steppenwolf, and apparently Batman is showing up in the annual, so lots to do, lots to see. Interested in it all.